हेलो बेटा, कैसे हैं आप सभी। चलिए, आज का अपना टॉपिक है इक्विवेलेंट वेट। ठीक है। उस पर कुछ टॉपिक पढ़ेंगे हम लोग, फिर कुछ न्यूमेरिकल्स भी करने वाले हैं उस पर। ठीक है। इक्विवेलेंट कॉन्सेप्ट कह दो, बल्कि इसको अच्छा रहेगा। ठीक है। इक्विवेलेंट कॉन्सेप्ट। सबसे पहले हमारे पास यहाँ पर दो फॉर्मूलाज हैं, ड्यूलोंग एंड पैटेट। दो ये साइंटिस्ट थे जिन्होंने हमें फॉर्मूला दिया है। क्या? इट वाज अप्रॉक्स atomic mass into specific heat will be is equal to 6.4। ये एक फिक्स वैल्यू दी गई है। ठीक है। एलिमेंट्स के लिए पॉसिबल है आपके लिए। ठीक है। इसके अलावा एक और फॉर्मूला है अपने पास, जिसको हम इम्पोर्टेंटली यूज करेंगे along with this formula also. Okay, it is exact atomic mass is equal to equivalent weight into valency. Now take a look here. Sometime in the given question you have given the specific heat of that element, we can say. Okay, then we will use this formula first of all. Approx atomic mass into specific heat is equal to 6.4. From there we will find the approx atomic mass there. Okay, and then this approx atomic mass we will use here. We will put approx atomic mass on the place of exact atomic mass, because there is a very little difference between these two masses. जो approx means क्या होता है, बहुत ही close value होती है अपनी। जैसे एक कोई वैल्यू मान लीजिए हमने कहा मास 56 है। ठीक है, एग्जैक्ट। तो अप्रॉक्स वैल्यू जो आ रही होगी उसकी यहाँ से कितनी आ जाएगी, इट विल बी 59.65, मतलब इट इज वेरी क्लोज, सो वी कैन पुट इट हेयर। Okay, so sometime we will find valency there because equivalent weight we know. Sometime we know valency, so we will find the equivalent weight from there also. Okay, so this is the very important questions for us. Now, equivalent weight. Now, if we say what is the equivalent weight, so you can say that amount of a substance which will combine with 1 gram of hydrogen. Okay, like H2 with O2, it will combine and will form H2O. Because one atom of oxygen is there, so we can half this mole. Okay, so it is the value we have. Now, if we say by the chemical reaction 2 gram of hydrogen is combining with 16 gram of oxygen. So you can say 1 gram of hydrogen will combine 8 gram of oxygen there. So we can say equivalent weight of oxygen is 8 gram. Okay, or H2 combine with Br2 and will form HBr. So when half mole H2 and half mole Br combine, so it will form HBr, we can say. So here we can say 1 gram of hydrogen is combining with 80 gram of HBr, sorry, Br. So we can say for Br, equivalent weight it will be 80 gram, like nitrogen combined with H2 and produces ammonia there. Okay, so we have here, you can say 1 upon 2, and here it will be 3 by 2. Okay, now take a look here. You can say 28 by 2 gram, because half mole we are using, is combining with 3 by 2 into 2 gram of hydrogen. Okay, so what we are getting here? We are getting that 3 gram of hydrogen is combining with 14 gram of nitrogen. So if we say 1 gram of hydrogen is combining with, so it will be definitely 4 by 3 gram of nitrogen. So we can say for nitrogen equivalent weight, it is 14 by 3. So simply we can say equivalent weight, which we can define here. You can say the amount of an element that that combine with 1 gram hydrogen on reaction simply. Okay, so it is the equivalent weight we have. Okay, so we can say in general for metals and non-metals, for metals and non-metals, if we want to find equivalent weight, we want to find equivalent weight for metals and non-metals. Okay, so we have, you can say, formula equivalent weight. It will be gram atomic mass and divide by its valency. Like we have sodium, we have magnesium, we have aluminum. So what we know? 23 is the gram atomic mass and its valency is 1. So 23 is the equivalent weight for sodium we have. Okay. For magnesium, it is 24 gram equivalent weight and its valency is 2 that we know. It means 12 gram is the equivalent weight for magnesium. For aluminum, that we know 27 is the gram atomic mass and 3 is its valency. So we know it is 3 gram. So by this we can easily find the equivalent weight for metals and non-metals. Okay. Second, we can say for ions. Okay. So equivalent weight, it can be gram atomic mass. If it is monoatomic ion, you can say. Okay. Mass or gram molecular mass. If it is polyatomic ion, whatever it is present there. Okay. And then divide by charge present on ion. Whatever the charge is present, it will be used in denominator. Okay. Like example, we can say OH minus, O2 minus, SO4 2 minus, CO3 2 minus. Okay. So mass 17 and charge is 1. So we can say equivalent weight, it will be 17 gram. Oxygen, that is 16 mass we know, and charge is 2. So it is 8 gram. Again, SO4. SO4 means 32 sulfur and 16 into 4, 64 for oxygen. तो total mass कितना हो जाएगा? It will be 96. Divide by 2 because 2 negative charge is present there. So it will be 48 gram. C12 plus O16 into 3. So 48 plus 12, that will be 60. Divide by 2 because 2 charges present there. So 30 is the equivalent weight for carbonate ion. Okay. So these are some methods we have to find the equivalent weight. We have some other concept for that topic, especially we can say for equivalent weight. But for 11th class, chapter 1, these are sufficient. Okay. Now we have some formulas also. Okay. So the formula we have, you can say we are using the formula, it is equivalent weight of metal divided by equivalent weight of sulfate or oxide or chloride or hydroxide, whatever it is present there, we can say. Okay, carbonate, whatever the compound it is forming there. And mass of metal divided by mass of sulfate. It is even weight of sulfate ion, basically, you can say. Okay, so we can use this formula here according to the given compound. Okay, for chlorine, we have a special formula also, you can say. If vapor density of chloride is given, in that case, remember that valency will be is equal to 2 into vapor density, and it is divided by equivalent weight of metal plus 35.5. 35.5, it is also, the equivalent weight of chloride ion. Okay. One another formula that we can use, like assuming that hydroxide of a metal converting into its oxide. When hydroxide of a metal convert into its oxide. It is an example basically that hydroxide to oxide, it may be oxide to carbonate, chloride, whatever it is. Okay. So we can say mass of metal hydroxide divided by mass of metal oxide. This will be is equal to equivalent weight of metal plus equivalent weight of hydroxide. Equivalent weight of metal plus equivalent weight of oxide. So whatever the compound is converting, we have to use both the substance. We can say it is metal hydroxide converting to oxide because of. Maybe it can convert hydroxide to carbonate also. So we will put here equivalent weight of carbonate. Sorry, hydroxide here. It will be carbonate because converting in carbonate because of. Okay. So these are the some basic formulas that you have to know to solve the numericals on these topics. Okay. Okay, give me a moment. We have some questions also there. Okay. Now, now we have a question here like question first we have it is zero point 0.5 gram of a metal, zero point 0.5 gram of a metal on oxidation gave 0.79 gram of its oxide. The equivalent weight of the metal is options that are given to us 10, 14, 20 and 40. Now pause the video and solve the numerical. Try at least. Okay. Now take a look here. We have mass of metal and mass of oxides basically. Okay. And we have to find the equivalent weight of metal. So what we can use here, you can say it is mass of metal by mass of oxygen. and equivalent weight of metal divided by equivalent weight of oxide ion. Okay, so this will be the formula that we will use here. Mass of metal we have, it is 0.5 gram. Mass of oxygen. So how can we find the mass of oxygen combined? Simple है ना? It is the mass of oxide, means metal plus oxygen is the oxide we know. So if we remove the mass of metal from this, what will we get? It will be mass of oxygen combined, definitely. So it is 0.29. It is 0.29. We have to find equivalent weight of metal. Okay. And for oxygen, if we say, or oxide ion, what do we know? Do we know the, you can say, mass or equivalent weight of oxide ion? Yes, we know. I told you. How can we find? It will be mass of oxygen divided by its charge. Okay. Now find the equivalent weight of metal. So it will be zero point 0.5 into 8 divided by 0.29. So simply now you have to divide this value. It will be nearly equal to 3.8, which we can assume is 14. So B will be the most suitable answer we have. Okay, चलिए आगे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. Then next question. Take a look here. We have next question. The sulfate of an element contain 42.2% element. The equivalent weight of metal would be, option we have 17, 35, 51 and 68. बताइए कैसे करेंगे इसको. पॉज करें वीडियो को, सोचें इसके बारे में. देखिए बहुत सिंपल वैल्यू है, गौर करना. Sulfate of an element is given to us. It means metal and sulfate is combined there. So if it contain this 1% of element, it means rest of the mass, a percentage that we can say, is sulfate. Okay. So what we can assume, let us weight of sulfate compound. सल्फेट कंपाउंड जो है ना बेटा, हमने क्या एज्यूम कर लिया है कि उसका वेट कितना है, 100 ग्राम है. इफ सो वी कैन से मास ऑफ एलिमेंट कितना हो जाएगा, 42.2 ग्राम. एंड मास ऑफ सल्फेट, बताइए कितना हो जाएगा। भाई डेफिनेट है ना, क्या आपको क्या करना है, बस यहाँ पे लेस करना है 100 से इसको, तो आ जाएगा आपका आंसर डेफिनेटली। ठीक है ना, चलिए इसको लेस करते हैं फटाफट से। तो आपने लेस किया, क्या वैल्यू आ रही है देखिए। सो इट विल बी 100 माइनस 42.2। तो हमें फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करना है अपना कौन सा, डिट्टो। यही फॉर्मूला यूज कर सकते हैं आप लोग डायरेक्टली वीकेंड से। बस फर्क क्या जाएगा छोटा सा, जरा गौर करना। वी विल यूज मास ऑफ मेटल एंड मास ऑफ सल्फेट, आयन जो वहां पे हमने ऐड किया एक तरह से, ठीक है। एंड इक्विवेलेंट weight of metal and equivalent weight of sulfate ion, simple. So that we know 42.2 divided by 57.8 is equal to equivalent weight of metal। तो निकालना है अपने को बेटा, weight of metal निकालना है अपने को। बट equivalent weight of sulfate ion तो हम जानते हैं ना, इसका मास कितना है 96 और चार्ज कितना है 2, तो it will be 48। Now we have to solve equivalent weight of metal, so it will be 48 into 42.2 and divide by 57.8। ओके, तो थोड़ा कैलकुलेशन है इसका, थोड़ा टाइम दीजिए मुझे। सो इट इज 48 into 42.2 divide by 57.8, so it is 35। So the correct answer is 35 ग्राम। ऑप्शन है हमारे पास, यस इट इज। सो बी इज द आंसर। ओके, आई होप टॉपिक समझ में आ पा रहा होगा आप सभी के। टॉपिक इसका फिनिश करते हैं फिर, ठीक है, बाय, टेक केयर।